My name is Stephen Hawking. I was a theoretical physicist, a cosmologist, and for most of my life, a man learning to speak through machines. But what I've truly tried to do is speak to the universe. I want to share something more personal now. Not a formula, not a lecture, but something closer to truth. Let me begin here. We are not merely observers of the universe. We are part of it. This is not poetry. It is physics. The atoms in your bones were born in dying stars. The energy that moves your thoughts once traveled as sunlight. The same equations that describe galaxies also describe you. When my body weakened, I gained something else: stillness. And in that stillness, I had time to reflect not only on how the universe works, but why we're here, and what happens when we are not. What happens when we die? I've faced that question many times, not as a scientist, but as a man. Science tells us death is the end of biological function, a thermodynamic event, a dissipation of structure. But that's only part of the truth. Consciousness, the awareness that we are aware, is not fully understood. Some call it a trick of chemistry. I believe it's something deeper, a pattern, an arrangement of energy and information. And if there's one thing I've learned in physics, it is this: information is never truly lost. It changes form. It disperses, but it remains. So, I ask, what if the mind, the self, is not a thing, but a frequency, a temporary ripple in a vast field of reality? When the body ends, perhaps the ripple continues, not as a person, but as a part of something larger. We know black holes, once thought to destroy everything, actually preserve information on their surface. So maybe, when we die, what we were, the pattern, the signal, is recorded. Not in heaven, not in myth, but in the fabric of space-time. I spent my life studying black holes, places where time slows, where matter collapses, where physics itself seems to bend. And yet, even they are not absolute. They emit radiation. They leak truth. They remind us nothing is ever truly gone. Death, I've come to believe, is not a wall. It is a threshold, a horizon. We cannot see beyond it, but that does not mean there is nothing there. I do not believe in a personal God, not in the way religion imagines. I do not believe in judgment, nor eternal reward, but I believe in structure. I believe in beauty, and I believe that the universe is more intelligent than we know. Perhaps what we call the soul is not a spirit, but a signature, an imprint on the quantum field, etched by the life we lived, the thoughts we carried, the love we gave. That would mean we never really disappear. We simply reorganize. Some ask, do we live on? I say, if you've ever changed someone's mind, shared an idea, helped another person feel less alone, then yes, part of you lives on. Not metaphorically, literally. The information persists. Even time, I've learned, is relative. Past and future are not fixed directions. The universe holds all moments at once, which means you, right now, are eternal in some dimension. This is not mysticism. This is physics with wonder still intact. Are we alone? No, because we are the universe, made conscious of itself for a brief moment. In my final years, What comforted me most was not science alone, but the realization that meaning is not separate from reality. Meaning is the arrangement of reality. It's how we interact, how we think, how we choose to live in the face of entropy. So, I offer you this. Live with curiosity. Question boldly, love deeply, and know that even your smallest thought affects the field we all exist in. You are not a fluke. You are not an accident. You are a pattern within a masterpiece. Temporary, yes, but real. Beautifully real. And when your time comes, when the pattern dissolves, you will return to the field from which all things arise. Not erased, not judged, but transformed. But there is one more idea I must leave you with. In my work, I often said that the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. This applies not only to science, but to how we understand life, death, and each other. We think we know what life is, that it is tied to movement, breath, speech. But life is more than that. It is coherence, a pattern of interactions, a ripple of structure within the greater ocean of randomness. And death? We assume it's silence. But what if it's just a shift in frequency? What if everything we are simply becomes less localized, no longer contained within skin and bone, but diffused into the very field we once observed? I often imagine the universe not as a place, but as a mind unfolding, a kind of cosmic computation, running a simulation where particles learn, connect, evolve. If that is so, then perhaps each of us is a subroutine, a thread, temporary but essential. Our lives may seem small in the scale of galaxies, but that's only because we measure size in the wrong way. Significance is not about duration or mass. It is about influence. What you do, what you think, who you are, it shifts the probabilities of what the universe becomes next. This is why your choices matter, why love matters, why truth matters. These are not moral ideals, they are frequencies of resonance. When you act from love, you tune yourself to the deepest structure of reality. When you seek truth, you align your pattern with the laws that govern the stars. I do not fear death. I never have. What I fear is stagnation.